Welcome to the start of a brand new anime review series. As you can tell by my shirt, it's a series that features. Where is she? Her voice actress, Brand Knickerbocker. Yep. You're probably thinking, what is the name of this series basically I'm discussing? It's a series called The Misfit of Demon Academy. Yes. Now, the episodes I'm covering are the first two episodes of the series. It was produced by Silver Link. You're thinking, Silver Link, that sounds familiar. Didn't they work on others? Didn't they also work on ReZero as well? If you're really curious about that, no, they did not work on ReZero. The only other series I've seen that this company has worked on has been Shibuya Night. Yes, I have seen that. There is also Restaurant in the World, Death Mark's Parallel World Rhapsody, Our Last Crusade of the Rise of New World, which their second season coming out really soon. They confirmed that. That's coming out this year. I'm looking forward to it. There's also, I've also covered The Great Zhao Would Not Be Defeated. I actually watched it last year. The World's Finest Assassin Against the Reincarnated World's Aristocrat. Great show. Both free. Both seasons 1 and 2. And that's it. Yep. Oh, by the way, in case you're curious though, this, I believe, is the 7th or 8th series I've covered this year. Because last one I covered was the Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest. Yes. Now, the main character of the series, which of course English dub, they kept the same actor. The sub for some reason they have a different actor for his character. We have Anos Valgood, who was a demon king, whose demon king was reincarnated. He's voiced by Alexis Lee, which you're probably thinking, that name sounds familiar. Did he voice somebody in Demon Slayer? Yes, he did. He's the voice of Sanosuke, the one who uses the lightning stuff. And this is definitely the 8th series I've covered this year. Yep. Now, of course, Brina Kapaka, her character, his name is Misa Nikron. And of course, there's also her sister, which is in episode 2, Sasha Necron, voiced by Kali Mouse. Which, she's pretty young, only 28. She's the voice of Amelia from ReZero. Yep, so we got some ReZero alumni here. She was also in Hunter x Hunter as Pion. Welcome Demon Slayer as Clara, and pretty much a lot of her family. Yeah, Clara Vodek. This series, obviously. Yeah, I believe she reprised her for Isekai Quartet, so that's about 4 series for her. Yeah. Actually about 5, because she also voiced Yinlin. She reprised her from Konosuba for that character. Yep. Yeah, we also have a character named Zeppi's Indo, who's voiced by Zena Robson, another Demon Slayer alumni. Yes. Now, yeah, so I should point out something interesting, though, about the character of Misha. When I look at her, and based upon, now this has nothing to do with Bray Knickerbocker, because this is very similar thing she did over in the Aztec War series, where this character looks almost is like the spitting image of Karen Toto from the Aztec War. She's about the same size, I believe the same hair color, and the same demeanor. And no, it has nothing to do with the fact both are voiced by Bray Knickerbocker. This character has very similar appearances. Also, she has some in common with Rim. She has a sister who's probably a lot more smarter than she is. And probably just more prettier. Yeah. I mean, that's the only two things, basically, aside from the Bray Knickerbocker connection that these two have in common with, let's say, 2 different series Bray Knickerbocker has been in. Now, of course, this series aired, the first season aired just a few years ago. Right now, I'm in the first season of the show. Now, the second season is airing right now, but it's currently on hiatus. Yes, because for some reason, the second season, which is has not completed yet, it stopped after only 6 episodes. You're thinking, really? Yes, really. It is completely unknown of exactly what was the reason for this. Yeah, it's something. Now, of course, yes, I will be covering this whole series. And unlike in the case what happened with, well, when it comes to Konosuba and, well, Strong City Weech Crest, I'm going to try to get the series on first, and then work on the last series I'm working on, which I'm not going to reveal that right now, but I'll reveal that later, probably when I finish watching the series. Now, in these 2 episodes, basically we start off with the main character where he's revealed to be a tyrant, where he was basically like reincarnated in present day, 2,000 years after his. They do show off in the very next episode where basically they show a flashback of just before he's reincarnated, where he fights off against a hero named Konon and his 2 female subordinates, where he basically vows to reincarnate, and of course he wants him to reincarnate too. They fight, and of course he dies in this flashback, and he gets born in present day, where he is reborn as a baby, and basically he grows up really quickly. I have never heard of reincarnation like this, where he had just reincarnated 2,000 years later, and he grows up in a span of a month. He just is born, speaks, gives himself a name, and grows up very quickly over the course of a whole month. And he immediately gets enrolled into the Demon Academy. So, after going through some tests, he faces off against, of course, Anna Robinson's character. He beats him pretty easily. Like, he also takes the time to kill him multiple times before he finally gives up. How many times did he kill him, revive him? 6 times over the course of 5 minutes. To the point where, like, just give up, dude. And he finally did. Then pretty much basically, like, of course, he meets Sasha at pretty much like when he first arrived. He basically picked up a letter she dropped. Now, what the letter contained, I don't know. Also, she's got a guardian. Like, another similarity with Karen Toto. It's like this character has got a lot of similarities with Karen Toto. Like, okay, not only the appearance, but different clothing. The fact she's raised by her guardian, not her parents, which is interesting. And the fact that she's with him a lot of the time. It's interesting, though, we have Brie Knickerbocker here as the female lead. Now you might be thinking, is this the first series she's been in where she's been the female lead of the series? Of the series I've seen her in, you could say Rim is leading character, but she's not the start of the series. No. I'd say this is probably the first one I can think of that I've seen where it's like that. Mostly put, she usually, when it comes to Brie Knickerbocker, the shows I've seen her in, usually, now you might be thinking, what about Strong City Weech Crest? Supporting character. Her character was not the female lead of the series. This one is probably the first one I've come across where it's like this for her. Luckily, I have not seen many series with him in it. Aside from Demon Slayer and this one, I don't think I've seen very much of them. Let me take a look here if I am. Let's see. Aside from this series, he was Mario Zoricho from JoJo's Adventures Golden Wind. Okay. He, of course, was in Raija Heroes Aki. Look up basically about him. Let's see. Of course, this series. Yash Prince had he's the voice of Hyusui, which I believe is Songo's nephew. Yes. Actually, it's his son. Yes. He was in the reboot for Shaman King. And of course, he's currently in Bleach: Thousand Blood War as Senji Haruko, Jasuro Yusuke, and Ryusuke Yuki. Look up basically who these characters are. So, like the case of some of these other ones, with the exception of Brandon Knickerbocker, I haven't seen many series with this actor in it. Not really. Now, if you listen to Sasha's voice actress in episode 2, it's similar to Lucy Christian, but it's not her. No, it is not her. Now you're probably thinking, why isn't it her? Because she's not in the series. No, she isn't. As for why, I have no idea why. It's just that, not here. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is currently the probably the 13th series. Yeah. So yeah, this is currently the 12th series, basically, 13th series, excuse me, a 13th series I have come across with her in it. Mm-hmm. Yep, 13th. Thinking that's good. Now you might be thinking, is in fact like is there is there gonna be more series on Cover it? It depends. It really, really depends on exactly if in fact that could happen. But it, like I said, it just depends. So they arrive, they have the exam, takes her home, battles him again, battles the idiot he beat, and his brother, and of course he kills his brother, and of course gets to stop by basically just giving up the fight because he brought back as a zombie. He also calls him creation magic. Yeah, and by the way, the way they describe that some magic, this show reminds me a little bit also of the Strongest Weakest Crest, where the main character is reincarnated years in the future, and stuff basically when he was around is completely different. Yeah, where jokes he says are not hitting. They're basically people were just put off by them. So when they try his magic aptitude, it comes to 0 because he's OP. Yeah, he's one of his OP characters. Now, unlike in the case of the main character from Strongest Weakest Crest, this guy is very arrogant. Yes. He's a good charge to him, but he also reminds me a little bit of the protagonist from Reader of a Healer. But at least he's not trying to rape every woman in the damn series. Yeah, at least he's not doing that. As a matter of fact, he's actually kissed one of them in episode 2, which that did happen in the book. Yeah, this is definitely a light novel series, so I gotta mention that. So, they introduce at the end of the very next episode, this is where he uses Sasha, Misha's sister, which they imply in the book they're the same person. It's all in the book, but they'll probably change it for the anime. So, they do this team competition thing. Of course, he tests out of course he thinks he's mixed blood. So, he tries out oh, there's a flaw in this. And he's like, wait, let me guess, the Royals made this, right? And of course, teacher's yeah. So he fixed it. And it's wow, you just slightly altered it. Look a lot better. Yeah, and also the fact that apparently people have been missaying his name. Because, can't say the name of the torture king, of the tyrant. And he's really? They mispronounced his name. So, then of course he wants to have a team, but it's only him and Misha. Her sister gets Sarajevo, and of course they have him basically have her. Misha builds 3 castles, while he proceeds to walk up to his sister's castle, pick it up, basically punch right through the force field they have. The shield they have, picks up the castle one-handed, toss up in the air, spin it around, and throw it against the ground, smash the castle. Then of course eventually then of course the agreement basically like, well, whoever wins basically loses to serve them, and of course she loses, and she becomes his subordinate. Oh, by the way, at the end of the first episode, they had this thing where he brings Misha home, and of course his mother thinks he brought home a bride. Yes, a bride. So they have this special suit they have, which of course Misha likes it, and of course, well, her sister tries to next. Oh no, you brought more brides. And Father's like, really? You brought more brides? Awesome! I only have one. Yes, complete misunderstanding. But I have a lot of fun with these episodes. I really do. If you're curious though, how many more episodes have to go? Well, with pretty much like 90 episodes released so far for the whole series, I have like about 17 left to go for the whole series, and that's it. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Next up is going to be a comic corner. Yes, a comic corner. Yep. So this is quite something, especially since we're reviewing a lot of bonus books this one too. Okay, next view. Bye.